What's going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of Wealth for the Culture. It is your host, Ollie Brady. And today we're doing another solo edition, man, solo style. First off, I just want to thank everybody that's been tuning in, giving me feedback. I appreciate you all. And we're going to go ahead and get into this episode. So, for this episode, what I wanted to go over is why should you invest? And kind of just touch on a couple different things around that topic. And what to expect when you're investing as a millennial, things of that nature, when you're going and starting your wealth journey. So for starters, I'll kick this off just by kind of giving an update on my progress of what I've got going on. I've kind of been mentioning some of the things I'm working on, and while I still got some things that's a ways away, I'll touch briefly on a couple of the items. A couple of the items that the most part I got going at this moment currently, and that's about to start taking off as far as business ventures and things of that nature, and just my setup. I've kind of mentioned on it here and there, but I got a couple things I hadn't mentioned, so I'll cover that to start off. So for starters, looking to get my first partnering up with one of my friends, a college friend of mine. We've done things in the past, business related. So I'm looking to partner up and me and him are going to partner, start this rental car business via Turo and Hire Car. Recently, we bought a course, which that course mainly dives into the hire car side of things. And we bought Brian on Instagram. I believe his IG tag is the infamous CPA. So y'all can go check that course out as well if y'all want to, just to peep what he has going on. But yeah, so we bought his course and we've seen a couple things we'll probably tweak for our situation. And we'll kind of take what he had in that course and what we've been seeing off our research and the research of looking at a few other people in the space. Like we've been looking at Pushman Mitch, who's real big on Turo, Matty J. I've seen guy if y'all listen to Money Monopolize podcast, one of their calls, Marlon. He's out here doing he's doing real well in the rental car game. Ralph Means Biz. We've got a couple people, mainly in the IG space, that I've been kind of talking with and collaborating with, and just kind of just watching what they're doing and speaking on, and kind of going along, coupling that with my research and my partner's research. And so now I'm going to be getting the car inspected this week. If everything goes well, I'll be purchasing that car. I would recommend that, from my experience, I recommend that you get every vehicle inspected before purchasing, just so you can avoid the hassle and the headaches in the future moving forward. That's just something that you need to take in consideration. The people we use probably like $100, so we talk about $50 a pop because we're splitting all costs. So ideally, what we're going to be doing is I'm in the Dallas area. He's in Houston. So we'll build up two fleets, 50-50 split on everything, expenses and all. And the idea is to start off with economy cars and scale our way up to, the high end cars like, the Lamborghinis and, BMW i8s, Teslas, Mercedes, all that. That's the goal. So we'll be starting this in the next few weeks, and I'll be documenting everything. And at this point, I plan on getting a lot more YouTube content out to you all because I'm starting to get a lot of the frequently asked questions that a lot of people are asking the same thing over and over. So I figure what I would do is I'm gonna stop procrastinating on the YouTube content, and I'll start, every week getting some of the most frequently asked questions together and make a couple videos for you all, and start dropping one a week. And also, anything I see on my journeys of different business ventures, I'll make videos on that as well. That way it'll help you all if y'all want to, copy what I have going on, or, want to get into the game and, make money for yourself. Also, another thing I got going, which I haven't mentioned to really anybody, but it goes into my end goal vision, which is getting mainly real estate is my end goal. I want all my business, I want them to basically fund, you know, real estate properties. And what I really want to do is I want to have apartments be that end goal where I could just have a property manager let them manage it, shave them their 10%, and just get my mailbox money. And scale all the other businesses up to where they're automated and they run by themselves for the most part. And I don't have to be involved so hands on with it to where I have to be involved in the business 24/7, which is another thing I'll stress partnerships, make that a lot easier on you because the idea is when we talk about wealth, we want to go into a route of primarily taking, the goal for wealth for us is, for at least for me, is freedom to be able to do whatever I want when I want. And while you do have to grind in the beginning, the goal is not to make more jobs for yourself, it's to be able to walk away at some point. So with every move I'm making, it's going to be tailored to the next 5 years or so. That's my timeline, for what I've already been doing and got going on to be able to walk away. And basically, everything will be able to run itself. And I'll have to be able to put minimal work in to keep everything going smoothly. So that's the idea. That's the plan for me and what I have going. So, I welcome all the Wealth family to follow along and tune in and tap in with me. And, if you got any questions, feel free to DM me. I am going to, after May is about to end. So come June, I'm gonna have to start charging for my time, man, because I just got too much going on. That doesn't mean I won't try to answer any questions that y'all have. I'll just probably tailor it towards YouTube videos, and I'll still be in my DMs. I just won't be spending. Some people I'll spend an hour answering questions for them, and I'm just like, I don't have the time to dedicate anymore to that because everything's starting to take off now, and I got a lot going on. And with this credit repair is actually what I don't think I mentioned, but I'm getting into credit repair as well. I'll have a business starting up in the next couple weeks, and that helps me because what I have planned is to be able to eat off of real estate in multiple aspects. So I met Andre Hatchett. He teaches the notary game. I got my general notary commission. I plan on getting my becoming a notary signing agent so that I could do loan closings and things of that nature. So with credit repair, I plan on partnering up with realtors and lenders, and on both ends, I'll partner up. That way, I could eat off the deal on both ends. That's the ultimate goal for me. I'll be able to help people fix their credit up so that they can get a house. But also on the back end, I'll be able to partner up with lenders and that of that nature. I'll be able to come to the closings, and working with realtors and stuff like that, they can send me clients, and I'll be relatively affordable for starting off. I might increase price later on, but for right now, I'm trying to be super affordable for anybody so I can help out people get houses because that's big thing for me right now is just diving into the real estate game. So on that note, I'm also investing in deals right now. Later on this year, I'll probably be doing my first rehab project. I'll be partnering up with one of my mentors for that. Shout out Lawrence, he was on a past episode as well. So that's my horizon for right in the immediate future, and I'm trying to have everything kind of pretty much tie in to the to real estate in some aspect. So I'm trying to vertically scale all that and vertically integrate and do all that instead of being spread out across all these multiple different industries. The Turo hire car game, that's just something I've been wanting to do for a while. And now that I have a partner, so we splitting the cost. But if everything works out as we projected, the costs will cover themselves just off of the rentals. Especially with everything opening up back outside, the COVID scare is kind of dying down now. Well, not kind of, especially out here in Texas, it's almost like it never existed to begin with. So more people are outside, living life. So they'll need vehicles to get around, things of that nature. Traveling is at an all-time high, or about to be at an all-time high, in the next couple months. And summer's right around the corner, so projecting some big things. So for us, it's a matter of we have the blueprint. Now it's time to go get a proof of concept and build the foundation. And from there, we'll just work on scaling and automating everything, man, so that the business can truly grow and become passive for us. And if that means hiring people as well. That's fine by me because I'm the guy that I want the wealth to truly be wealth for me. I don't want to be too I like building businesses, but I also like to be. The point is for me to do what I want when I want. And if I got to do that by means of partnerships and building the right teams and putting the right systems in place, that's what I'm gonna do. So, for the most part, as I mentioned, real estate is the key. And don't get me wrong, I still do my stocks. I'm doing options. I'm actually gonna branch off and learn day trading options, just as something on the side to do as well. I've been working on that, doing a paper trading account. But I wanted to get these two things situated first because Turo hire car situation, the rental car game can pretty much run itself. Very minimal effort needed for that. Credit repair. Uh, Depends on how many clients I got. I've partnered up already with a couple realtors, and so I got to get everything set up with this website and this cloud and all that. So I can start doing their stuff because I didn't think I was going to get this much demand this quick. And I mentioned it to a few realtors I know, and they're already sending me people. So I'm trying to get that going in the next couple weeks. That's what I got going on. If any of y'all that are listening want to need some credit repair, hit me up. Nothing crazy. Charge them, $97 up front, another 50 a month. You're looking at I'm doing everything the legit legal way. A lot of people, you hear them mention do a fake police report. All things that are illegal and could probably land you in jail. That ain't the route I'm going. I'm gonna do it the legit, straight up way. And again, it's all dependent on the person's situation. So I'll do consultations, 15-minute consultation to kind of get an idea of what you're trying to do and what situation you're in. And we can go from there. If you want to do business, we can do business. And it's just that simple. I'm looking to get everybody, results. As of now, my credit score has gone up about 20, 30 points or so. So, and I'm already was in the sevens. So, and don't get me wrong, I've been on, even before I started to do this credit repair thing, I've raised my score. I was in a situation, unfortunately, it happens. It is what it is. Mom got a few credit cards in my name. My credit score, when I remember when I first seen my credit score for the first time, I was like high 500s, low 600s. And I raised that thing in about a year and change to the sevens. So I'm kind of floating in the sevens. Now I'm into the mid sevens. And I'm cool. I'm good. But at this point, I'm just more so looking to leverage credit and leverage OPM, other people's money, so that I can go get more money and it can make me profit. Now, that's what I got going on. Now, let's hop into why should you be investing. So, simply for me, and what I think everybody needs to consider, the main reason you need to be investing is a matter of the fact that you always want your money to be working. You don't want your money to be sitting and being stagnant. Because for one, you got to account for, you have inflation, which that's about 2% every year. So if your money just sitting, for one, all the banks are going to do is when you put money in a bank account, all they're doing is taking that money and they're investing it. They're investing, making a profit off of the money that you're sitting with them, while you're not getting nothing for it. I mean, if you got a savings account, you might be lucky to get a very minimal return a year, which is non-existent. Don't even account for inflation. So to me, I want my money to be doing something, being active, working for me. I send my money, I deploy it in different places to work for me. I mean, if you want to go the stock route, you want to go crypto, you can even do real estate. I do all three. You want to start businesses, do a business venture, anything. There's numerous things you can do, especially if you listen to this podcast, where you can take your money, deploy it, and go make some more money. I brought on numerous guests that just talk about all types of things from notaries to VAs, real estate, credit, leveraging credit to do things. Even if you want to just put that money to work so you can pay off some debt, however you want to do it, that choice is up to you. And and like I say, you listen to this podcast, you part of the Wealth family. You already know there's numerous ways to go get the bag out here, man. Numerous ways. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind. Now, one thing I will say is what I want people to understand is there's a delayed gratification aspect to these things. So don't expect to get started and immediately you look up overnight, you thinking, oh man, I'm rich. That ain't the name of the game. Don't get me wrong. Some people can go quicker than others, but for the most part, it's about just putting your money to work. Now, there's numerous ways that you could do this. So far as being able to have, put money to work, and we've hit on that. But the main thing a lot of people ask me is, how much should I have to invest? How much do I need to start with? Or they'll tell me I don't have enough to get started. And I'll say, to me, that's BS. Try not to curse it, but yeah, that's just a bunch of bull. Basically, you don't want to sacrifice a little bit. And honestly, it's not even about a sacrifice. When I got started about 5 years ago, when I was in the crypto game, about 4 or 5 years ago, I got started. I literally started with about $50 to $100, somewhere in that range, and I worked my way up. And this is back when I wasn't really a long term thinker. I was a trader. I scaled that up really quick, and then when I moved, I had to come step out of the game because I was bouncing around. I ended up going to Phoenix, then Boston. Now I'm back in Texas, and now I'm back in the crypto game. But I'm more on I'm in crypto and all that stocks on, but I'm more in the long term plays. I'm looking at the long term buy and hold perspective nowadays. That's my methodology. And now that I'm learning to do day trading for options, you know, I'll use that to leverage as well to start just pouring more into crypto and stocks. Now, another thing I'll say is every move I make is also to eliminate and minimize expenses. Example, I'll be looking to get a property later on this year, which the money I'll use for that property is actually from a real estate deal I'm doing that I'll get into a little bit more detail later on when I go into like the retirement account after this. That's another frequently asked question I get. The difference between those and are they worth it or not, and what is my opinion on them. So actually, you know what? We'll get into it now. People ask me about 401ks and IRAs. I'm no financial advisor. I have done an episode with the financial advisor, Justin. So y'all can check that episode out because he breaks it down very well. And I actually implemented his 3 tiers of savings strategy into my personal, everyday moves. Have you? So you should check that episode out. He dropped a lot of gems, dropped a lot of free game for everybody. Gave you a blueprint as well in that episode on how to allocate your savings and what you're doing. So for me, I keep like in a little quick emergency fund. I do have my credit cards. This is not the same. Credit cards, leverage them, take advantage of. If I get a credit card, it has to be rewards based because I need incentives to be able to use this. I use it personally on things I know is going to make me money and things I know I'm already going to spend money on, whether it be groceries, gas, etc. And I'm leveraging that to get the points because I know I'm paying right off because these are expenses I was already prepared for. And also looking at the things that'll make me money. Now, I funded stock accounts with these. I funded trading accounts with these. I've done the whole nine. Like, that's me. I'm okay with that because I know I can cover that because I'll make a profit off whatever I'm taking that money out to go do, what I'm using that money for. There's plenty of tricks. I might cash out somebody and have them send it right back to me. I'll pay 3% on that, which may be less than. It just depends. Is it less than the cash advance you might do with the going to an ATM? Sometimes it is. I have a card where it's 8% to a cash advance, but I can use that same credit card, send somebody some cash at 3%, and they come back. They send it right back to me. Now I can use that money to go trade, or I could put that money in a real estate deal that'll make me, 100% return. So it's just different ways to think, switch your mindset, get creative, but also do your due diligence before you just start pulling money out of all these places because that is money you have to pay back. So just take that into consideration as well. So what I'm gonna get into is just Roth IRAs and 401k is mainly what I deal with. So 401k is usually with your employer. I'm not a fan of them because they're very limited in what you can do. At least from my perspective, what I've done with them. I'm no expert on them. Man, I need a haircut. But you know, I'll say this: I use my 401k to get the free money that my company offers because my company does a company match. So they may match 3% of your salary, or or as whatever you're contributing. So I make sure I do that minimum amount to where I'm going to make sure I max out that match that I'm going to get from my company, and that's it. As far as what you can put that money towards in your 401k, it's too restricted for me. I can make more money going other routes. So me personally, I just put company stock for the max amount you can. The rest goes to the S&P 500. Now, where things get crazy for me is I also just recently found out you can switch the traditional 401ks to a Roth 401k. So Roth is post tax. So I'm eating all these hits now. So when I retire later, I don't have to worry about nothing. Um, and so what essentially I'm gonna end up doing, or what I did do, is I took the money that's been building up in my 401k, and now I can use that to serve as a bank for myself. So while I still have money in there actively working, I could take a portion of that out as a loan against myself. And this is where I thought was cool, at least for me. So what I did was I take a loan out against myself. I take out some money, package it with some other cash I got, and I go get in a real estate deal. If you're even more creative, you'll take, that money. You might go have some people that are investors, and you might do it that way. And you might not even have to touch that 401k money. This is how I'm doing it to get started, because I don't necessarily have all the avenues yet to go get private money to invest in deals. So I use some of my own cash on hand that I had from just building it up, different things I got going on, I'm doing. Then I also go and use that 401k to leverage and serve as my own bank to take out my own loan. I'll still pay interest. It's about 3% or so, like 3.5% or something like that. I'm paying the interest back to my future self. So the money is still going to be returned to myself, but I can also make more money and get a better return on that money in the now doing something else. And I still don't take a penalty because I didn't actually do a withdrawal. I just did a loan. So the only penalty I'm taking is 3.5% interest. But who's getting that interest back? I'm getting it back. So that's the beauty of it to me. I'm paying myself interest on money that's mine. Payments are minimal because you could do anywhere from like 12 months to I think like 60 months, depending on how you want your payments to look, because they're gonna be coming out of your check. This is aside from whatever you're coming out of for your 401k. So it's gonna be a whole separate payment. Keep that in mind. So whatever you're comfortable with, you go that route. Me, I went into real estate with that, and I'll be making enough money to where I'll be able to take the money I get from that real estate deal. I got two options. I could pay off the rest of that loan, whatever's left on it. I'll still have money left over from that because I've made a return on that money that's way better than anything I would have got, using that, especially with the way the stock market is right now. It's not to say it's bad or anything, but I know I can make more money on these real estate deals versus it being in the SP 500 in my company stock, which is pretty stagnant. So I'm not gonna pay that back. I'll just let it keep coming out my check. I'm gonna take a portion of that money from the profits and everything that's coming out of that real estate deal later on this year, and that's in 6 months. I'm in this deal 6 months and I'm out. That I'm gonna take that money, go use that as a down payment to fund. Hopefully, it's a crazy real estate market right now, but the goal is I'm looking for a multifamily right now so that I can house hack. House hacking essentially means, in an ideal world, you get a multifamily like a duplex. And we'll say the duplex is like 1,500 a month for mortgage. I'll rent out one side for 1,500, so now I come out of pocket $0. I've eliminated my biggest expense now. Now I can deploy that money to go do whatever I want to go do with it. Now you start seeing how that little bit of money you're putting in, maybe the $50 a week, $100 a month here and there. Now you see how that money can just exponentially grow, because now you've taken these different moves of investing and you've been smart with it and calculated. So it allows you to go and eliminate your biggest expense. And now you can take that money and go put it towards another investment, or increase the amount you're putting towards an investment that's already giving you a good return. That's my logic behind it. And that's how I plan to do it. If I don't find that, I don't care. I'll go find me a single family home and Airbnb it out there. It don't matter. I'll figure it out. But at some realm, I'm gonna be doing some type of house hacking to cut my monthly costs, as far as my rent goes, or mortgage at that point. So that's just my plan. Same thing with the rental car game. You start taking into account like these cars should cover themselves. So now the cars may not only cover themselves, but they probably cover your personal vehicle as well for that car note. So now you eliminate your two biggest expenses, because normally the biggest expense you're gonna have is your rent slash mortgage and your car. Monthly payments on the car unless you pay cash for it. So now that you've done this, I'm telling you, endless possibilities. Because now it's no longer an excuse of, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have enough money to do this. Now you just got, it's never ended for you. You got a numerous amount of possibilities you can do. You might just have to wait a few months, stack it up, and then boom, you can go put that money towards something that's going to get you a greater return than what you ever thought you could ever get before you got started. So those are just things that I like for people to take into consideration, take into account. But understand it's just a little bit of delayed gratification. It won't happen overnight. That's gonna take some work. It's gonna take some grind, man. But like we all, hey, it's one of those things like this. You don't work, you don't eat, you don't grind, you don't shine, man. So you're gonna have to put in a little bit of work, and that's okay. It's part of the game. And understand that it's nothing that's gonna happen overnight. And the fact that you're even listening to this podcast or any of the other podcasts out there, like, you got Earn Your Leisure, Money Monopolizer, Social Proof, That's Out the Vault. You might be listening to Bigger Pockets. It's a plethora out there. So 99 Hustles, Everybody Eats. Plenty of people I've seen with their own podcasts teaching financial literacy and teaching you money moves that you can go make, giving you plays on different routes to take for entrepreneurship, business ventures, things that you can go do to make money now. Some of these things don't even cost you nothing. Some of these things are minimal amounts of money to enter. I've done numerous people I've brought on here where it's minimal amounts of money to enter. I'm talking about under $500. Some of these is under $100. Some is it costs you nothing but some time and some effort. I brought people on that's done wholesaling, notary game, which is very inexpensive to get started in. I brought people on dispatchers, and all they had to do was get they set up and understand what's going on. So VAs, which is not that crazy of a startup cost at all. So it's just about, are you willing to put in the work to go get those things accomplished? And for me, I mean, I'm all for YouTube and Google. Me, I'm cool paying for courses at this point because it's going to streamline everything for me. It's going to make it a lot easier instead of going down that rabbit hole that's going to take you on a journey for months. I'm going to say, forget that. I'll pay the $100, $200. Now run me the course, and now I got a streamlined process that's going to get me started in a couple weeks, if not sooner. So now you can just start implementing. And now only thing that you got to worry about doing is executing and taking action. Don't get so caught up in analysis paralysis that you don't take action. Because at the end of the day, what good is all this information if you're not going to execute it? If you're not going to execute, then all this is pointless and a waste of your time. So instead of wasting our time and money, let's go make the most of our time and money and get this bread. Simple as that. So these are just things to take into consideration because, again, most of y'all that listen, I look at analytics, most of y'all are millennials, around my age, y'all in y'all 20s. We got the greatest thing on our hands we got is time. And don't get me wrong, you can start at any point in time, 50, 60, 70, it don't matter. You can get started whenever. But if you have the advantage of time on your hands and you in your 20s, are you still in school and stuff like that, or you might just be 18 or something. Listen to this. The time is now, man, to get started because there's too much money out here for people to get, and it's enough money for everybody to get. That's why you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can literally do copy and paste. If you want to put your own spin on it, put your own twist on it to differentiate you from the pack and get you a bag. And it took me a while to realize that, but now that I realize that, and now that I'm getting money, I want everybody to come get money. And you understand once you start getting money that it's enough out here for everybody to eat. So all I say is execute, take some action, man, because that's the key. you don't take no action, it don't even matter. So just be cognizant of that because at the end of the day, the goal is wealth. And the goal for what wealth looks like to me is success, freedom, being able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, man. And not only that, but knowing that the people that's coming after me, all my kids, grandkids, the generation coming after me, they set for life. They good. They ain't got no worries, no troubles, no problems, nothing to worry about at all. That's what wealth looks like to me. So evaluate what wealth looks like to you, understand what your vision is, build you a plan, reverse engineer it, and hit the ground running, man, and just go execute. Because again, execution is going to be the key. You don't take no action, all of this is just pipe dreams. So you got to go, hey, go wish it, go put it in, go speak it into existence, man, and then go get it. You understand everything I talk about, and understand everything you put into your life, your circle, all that, the things you're consuming right now is going to have an impact on what's going to happen later. It's going to be hard right now, and that's okay. Sometimes things got to be hard right now so they can be easy later. Because if it's easy right now, it's probably going to be hard later. And the way things are looking for us, Social Security ain't going to be a thing when we get old enough to get it. So, hey, you may as well go ahead and get on your grind right now so that you can chill later, man, and just collect that mailbox money. That passive income, that's the goal right there. That passive income, that's going to be coming forever. And for me, my end goal is apartment buildings. I just want a plethora of apartment units, a whole bunch of doors, and money in the stock market. So no matter what, crypto, all that, I'm making money while I'm asleep. I'll have my biz automated, hire you a good team, got your systems in place, all of that, so it can run effectively without you having to be there 24/7 worried about it. That's the key. So that's the vision, that's my vision anyways, how I see it. And hopefully y'all out here every week, y'all listen to this. I appreciate all y'all feedback, all the love y'all been showing me, man. I'm almost coming up on a year and I ain't almost. I got about 4 months till I hit a year. Yeah, about 4 months, 5 months, somewhere in there before I hit a year. But it's been a crazy journey. Y'all been rocking with me from the jump, and I didn't expect this. And I appreciate all y'all, man, for tapping in with me. I appreciate all my guests for showing me love because they didn't have to show me love by even just coming on this platform, man, to give away game. They could have charged. They just come on and give it out the goodness of their heart, man, just to spread that knowledge. And it's just great to see, black people out here doing the big, man. You know, I get all kinds of listeners of all walks of life, black, white, brown, it don't matter. But I like bringing on black guests because I like seeing people that look like me out here doing it. They're relatable, especially most of my listeners. A lot of people I know, they just like, oh, they talk a certain way, don't understand certain lingo, man. They don't understand certain jargon or whatever. So, yeah, I can put that on, but I really, talk a certain way that I know could be understood by anybody. At the end of the day, to me, it should be something that a fifth grader can understand. A little kid should be able to understand the stuff that we putting out here. And for the most part, everybody I bring on, really everybody, right? Ain't no for the most part. Everybody I bring on is able to, put that message out there to the best of their abilities, man. And it's very digestible and consumable for y'all. And so that y'all can almost go implement immediately. Don't take much other research after that. But just remember, it all starts with a financial foundation, man. Don't take that for granted. But once you got that foundation, and you're going to have a foundation if you're tuning into this week. Once you got that foundation, man, sky's the limit. Because now you got the knowledge, and the knowledge that some people can't take away from you. Just like when you're going out here building up these businesses, are you learning these things, like you're developing these and gaining these skills? These are things that can't be taken away from you. So even if the bag gets taken away or you lose the bag or for whatever reason, you can go get it right back. That's the key. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. I don't want to hold y'all too long today. I just wanted to make this one short and sweet for this week. And like I always say, what good is success if everybody around you is still struggling, man? So each one reach one, each one teach one. Peace.